Alright, you guys. Gotta get my stream in right quick. Man, I keep forgetting it's fight week, man. I keep forgetting Anthony Joshua versus Bublik. And then Shakur Stevenson, he got a fight coming up. But I'll talk about that as it gets closer to, fight night, the weekend and everything. So I'll talk about those fights. Anthony Joshua versus Bublik is kind of a big fight. Good test for Anthony Joshua. With Anthony Joshua's chin, it's no guarantee he'll win the fight. But in all likelihood, because of his skill set, he will more than likely be the favorite and he should win. But Bublik got a little bit of crack to him, so, you never know. But we shall see. So, as far as Shakur Stevenson go, this is more of a stay busy fight, and that's cool that Shakur Stevenson got to fight twice this year, due to the pandemic. He probably would have fought, more often, at least got 3 fights in, but, you got to take what you can get. Now, I'm very interested to see what the number's going to be for Errol Spence versus, Danny Garcia. What's up? Just to see what's really cracking with Errol Spence. At the end of the day, Al Heyman wants to make Errol Spence the next Floyd, and that's basically his plan. That's what he want to do. He want to make He want to make Errol Spence the next Floyd by putting all his fights on pay-per-view. At the end of the day, truth be told, Danny Garcia was a fight that shouldn't have been on pay-per-view. It shouldn't have been. It is what it is. Like I said, I'm not going to be nobody that watch what they say, because Errol Spence fans may not like it, or the PBC nut huggers, or the PBC apologists, or the Al Heyman apologists may not like it. Like I said, it's my fucking channel. You don't like what I have to say, take your ass somewhere else. It shouldn't have been on pay-per-view, and that's just the bottom line. And ain't nobody hating on Danny Garcia. I'm just telling it how it is. It's the truth. Real talk. But they want to sell Errol Spence as a pay-per-view star, and I get it. But I'm gonna also talk about, Floyd and him being up to his tricks again. Like I said, Floyd, at the end of the day, Floyd don't want nobody to have no shine. And Floyd have this envy and this disdain, in particularly for other black fighters. Floyd want to be the only black fighter that shine. And Floyd hate for anybody to have the attention except him. And that's real talk. He won't let none of these young brothers have their time. So now we got to be forced to cover and watch and talk about a bullshit fight with Logan Paul, a piece of shit, funny-haired wearing white boy racist. We got to be subjected to watching that debacle of a sparring session, whatever you want to call it. I do not like neither one of the Paul brothers. I think they're both white trash, and that's just the bottom line. And like I said, Floyd continues to make a mockery out of boxing and his career. And you have to wonder two things, and I'm not pocket watching, but you got to start asking this question. Is Floyd running out of money? I'm just asking. I'm really starting to think that Floyd is running out of money and he need another quick money grab. And the funny part about it is, people keep falling for this stuff. People keep falling for this stuff with Floyd Mayweather. Him Set, what's up? People keep falling for Floyd, doing this same old tactic over and over again. I thought Floyd don't fight people coming off losses. Because last time I checked, Logan Paul lost his last fight. Yeah, I'm talking about that goofball debacle of a whatever you want to call it. Floyd is just really like hurting his reputation. Floyd was once a celebrated, decorated prize fighter. Now he didn't resorted to putting on these clown ass, lightweight minstrel boxing, exhibitions. How is it that we got YouTubers that are gaining more popularity than regular boxers? Do you know how insulting that is? Do you know how insulting that is if you somebody like Devin Haney, a guy that been fighting since forever? Why are you excited about a bullshit exhibition match? What is there to be excited about? We've seen this formula before with Floyd. I'm not excited about it. If Floyd really was trying to like keep his name relevant, like I said, he resorting to this is a clown tactic. This is a minstrel show. This is a boxing minstrel show. But like I say, Floyd, nobody plays off racism better than Floyd. I don't know why. Like I said, I don't understand. I'm not paying for that. I'm not paying for that. Yeah, Floyd is the TBE of marketing. Like I said, Floyd was once a celebrated fighter, and he just keep resorting to this. Don't want to get nobody. That was an actual fight. Zab Zuda was an actual fight. That's the only time. Dude, I know my boxing. I know my boxing. What you talking about, dude? Like I said, it be pissing me off. Floyd, one of my favorite fighters, but he always just doing clown shit. Like I said, I already know he fought Zab Zuda. He hasn't fought anybody coming off a loss since Zab Zuda. That's the only time he did that. Hey, H-Money, I'm going to just be completely honest with you. If anybody think that Jake Paul and Logan Paul are real fighters, you really are in deep trouble. Please stop and cut the bullshit. You better than this, man. Come on, man. You better than this. You better than this. I got power. I got power. I'm just saying. He got power against who? Like I said, the minute that they fight real fighters, they gonna get exposed. Logan Paul been fighting nobodies, doing sparring sessions. Jake Paul has fought not one actual real fighter. Now that he got people that got actual boxing skills on his ass, now, like I said, you finna see in the coming months how tough it's gonna get for Jake Paul. Come on, H. Don't be you act like. Come on, man. You act like you on some clown shit, bro. I gotta keep it real with you. Come on. Jake Paul is a fake YouTuber. And when he fights somebody with half boxing skills, when he fights somebody with some halfway boxing skills, he gonna get the hell beat out of him. I just want people to keep the same energy. I want people to keep the same energy. I just want him to keep the same energy when he get his ass slapped. That's all I'm saying. I just want people to keep the same energy. And I want to see a celebration. I want to see people make fun of Jake Paul when he get his ass beat. And he ain't got no damn power. He ain't got no real power. I would like I said, one, he don't go to the body. One, he leave his face wide open. One, his body, he don't know how to slip punches. One, his body, he don't know how to protect his body. Somebody will pick him apart. But anyway, let me talk about some real fights. I'm not finna. Let me talk about some real fights. So now you got Manny Pacquiao, who's came out and said he wants to fight Errol Spence, but he wants to test himself. Now, as I reported that, I got a phone call and a text from somebody saying, well, Mikey Garcia is not out of the, you know what I'm saying? Mikey Garcia is not out of the running. Mikey Garcia is not out of the running. So they're talking about Manny could possibly fight Mikey Garcia first, and then Errol Spence. That's crazy. But it makes sense, because for a fight of this magnitude, you wanted to build up. So that's understandable. And by the way, Mikey Garcia is going to get destroyed by Manny Pacquiao. He going to get punished for like 12 rounds. He going to get dropped multiple times. That fight ain't even going to be like, it's not going to be close. I do think that Mikey Garcia will survive. He won't get knocked out, but I think he'll get dropped about 2 or 3 times. And then, you know, it is what it is. And then Manny Pacquiao retains his belt. And then, you know, then the talk for Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao begins. But the funny part about it is Errol Spence should be fighting. Yeah, he gonna put a beating on Mikey, and I don't even want to see it. Mikey Garcia ain't no real 147 pounder. I know he fought Jesse Vargas, but I guess you got to make yourself a 147 pounder. But I just don't see that style. Yeah, H, do you ever listen? I mean, come on, man. Talk some real shit, man. I already know Anthony Joshua will fight. Did you? Yeah, but that's what I heard, man. I heard Manny is gonna go with Mikey Garcia first, then Errol Spence. Now, here's something else, and now I want people to shut the hell up. Okay, so now once again, from what I've heard, from what I've been told, Bud is about to start negotiating with Lolo. Not ready for a fight like that. No, I'm gonna talk about that. I'm gonna get back to that later. Let me talk about this Bud stuff. So now it appears that Bud is about to begin negotiations with Sean Porter. So it appears that they in talks. Now keep in mind, I've been kind of pissed off at that Bernie dude, because I've invited that Bernie dude to come on my show several times and I haven't got a response from him. But he say everybody in the LDBC is against Bud, and we all PBC nut huggers, and we all, you know, and that's not true. But once again, I've given this guy an outlet. Like, hey man, Bernie, you can come on my show. Ain't heard from the dude. But he swear to God, he got so much knowledge of boxing, and then he loved to talk shit about people. Now, I'm not trying to diss Bernie, but at the same time, I've reached out to this dude. Ooh. Hey, that's funny that you brought that up. You know, Bernie said that they going for the stoppage. Now, of course, Bernie is Bud's right-hand man. That mean they negotiating. Well, we ain't talking about Bob Arum. We talking about him fighting Sean Porter. Whatever the case going on with Bud and Bob, I've already said I don't like it. But if Bob Arum can deliver him Sean Porter and this fight get made, then what is everybody complaining about? See, this is the thing. Y'all can't have it both ways. Like, it ain't my job to tell Bud what promotional company to go with. That's him. That's on him. That's his job. That's Bomac's job. Bomac is Bud's manager, not me. All I'm doing as a media member is I'm trying to get a fight made. I want a fight to get made. I'm not worried about what's going on. Bob Arum has failed Bud for the most part. So like I said, that's up to Bud. But it's not like he ain't trying to get these fights made. So can we stop that? And like I said, if and when this fight come to fruition, if Bud fights Sean Porter, I don't want to hear nobody say nothing. I don't want to hear nobody. H Money, I'm serious. And I'm coming on your show today, and we gonna talk about it. I don't want to hear nothing. H, I'm coming on your show today, and I'm gonna cook. So if this fight get made, I don't want to hear shit. I don't want to hear nobody complaining about Bud not fighting this dude. I don't want to hear nobody complaining about him not fighting that dude. I don't want to hear, I'm serious, I don't want to hear shit. You told him to fight Kell Brook. He fought Kell Brook and beat him. So now you telling him to fight Sean Porter. It looked like he gonna fight Sean Porter. What's the next excuse gonna be if he beats Sean Porter? Like I said, and the sad part about, and I'm cool with Kenny. Why Ugas is out of the loop? Because, to be honest with you, I hate to say this stuff. Ugas is a good fighter, but they want to put Bud and Sean on pay-per-view. And they figure Sean got name value. So they figure they need to sell a pay-per-view so they can make money. Ugas is a good fighter, but let's be honest. I don't see nothing that Ugas could do that could convince me he could beat Bud. Bud would beat Ugas' ass. Because one, Ugas don't have no punching power. Ugas can box, but he don't have no power. Bud is gonna stop him. We all know Bud will stop Ugas within 5 rounds. Yeah, we just gotta tell the truth. Ain't nobody gonna pay no $74 to see no Ugas. And like I said, at the end of the day, I hate to say it, it's not a pay-per-view worthy fight. And at the end of the day, we got to be honest with each other. We already know what's going to happen to Ugas. Ugas going to get his ass beat. But it's going to stop Ugas. Anybody listening on this panel think Ugas is going to... Anybody honestly believe that Ugas is not going to get knocked out by Bud? Anybody believe that Ugas is going to go the distance with Bud? He going to get stopped. He gonna get stopped within 5 rounds. And then what's gonna happen is, if Bud fights Ugas and he stops him, then they gonna somehow, some way, that's gonna be downplayed. No, I'm just saying. Ugas is gonna get stopped. Sean is a bigger name. Sean has fought on pay-per-view. Yeah, I know, G Brown. Nobody believes that Ugas is gonna last 5 rounds with Bud. Nobody believes that. Yeah, I'm gonna do my NFL videos later on. Later on. So nobody believes that Ugas is gonna let. That's why they ain't really talking about him. Bud versus Sean is a more marketable fight because Sean came off a great performance versus Errol Spence. All this comes down to, you guys, is a measuring stick to possibly, when they want to try to get the fight made. Hopefully, if they can get the fight made between Bud and Errol Spence, they want to use common opponents as a measuring stick. So let's just say Bud fights Sean, and Sean, like, somehow, some way, goes life and death, and he loses a narrow decision like he did to Errol Spence. But on the flip side, let's just say Bud stops Sean Porter. Then you have a totally different scenario. See, this is what this is coming down to. This is coming down to negotiating power. Bud feels like, hey, if I fight Sean Porter, that's a common Errol Spence opponent. But if I stop him, when we go to the negotiating table, and we bring up common opponents, Bud can say, hey, I should get this amount because guess what? I fought Kell Brook. I stopped them in 4 rounds. You stopped them in 9. I fought Sean Porter. I beat Sean Porter and I stopped him. So this is all this come down to. Now, I'm going to just tell you right now. I don't know what's going to happen, but let's just say Bud does stop Sean Porter. I guarantee you something. I guarantee you they gonna downplay that stoppage. Cause I just know how people get down. They gonna downplay it. They gonna have this excuse. They gonna have that excuse. I'm telling you, I'm getting prepared for it. We all knew what. Now you can't pull that damaged goods stuff. Not here. Because all the Errol Spence and PBC apologists said that if Bud didn't fight Kell Brook, he was ducking. He needed to fight Kell Brook. Don't come with that, oh, he was damaged goods. Okay, if you want to play that damaged goods stuff, then Errol Spence fought a damaged version of Kell Brook. See, you try to change the narrative when it comes to sucking up the Errol Spence. Keep in mind, Errol Spence fought Kell Brook coming off a loss. So, I mean, you got to keep it 100 though. He fought Kell Brook coming off a loss. But see, nobody don't want to bring that up because everybody want to big up and you know what I'm saying, and hang on Errol Spence's nutsack. But they don't want to talk about the fact that Kell Brook was coming off a loss. So if that's the case, if you want to try that damaged goods shit, okay, well then he was damaged goods from the Triple G fight, right? So let me get this straight. He not damaged goods when Errol Spence fight him, but then he's damaged goods when Bud fight. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Stop it. Fuck out of here. Nice try. I told you, man, this ain't this a boxing channel. This ain't the PBC. This ain't the PBC Errol Spence. No. People always try that. But that was your excuse. Now all of a sudden you just proved my point. You just proved my point. Y'all wanted Bud to fight Kell Brook. Y'all said he was ducking the man. Then when he fight him, oh, he's damaged goods. You can't change the narrative, man. For real. You can't do that. I'm not gonna let y'all get away with that. You can't respect who got. What are you talking about? You sure? Okay, you sure you want to play? You sure you want to play that black shit when it comes? You sure you want to play that black shit, dude? When it comes, you sure you want to play that black shit when it comes to Errol Spence and Bud? And I don't even want to like. Don't. I'm asking you. Don't do that. Don't do that. You don't want to play that black. You don't want to play that black card with me when it comes to Errol Spence and for real. Because if that's the case, like I said, how come Errol Spence don't have no brothers on his fight cards? And don't come with that replacement, and don't come with that replacement fight with that tall ass 6'6" dude fighting at nobody. Because that was a replacement fight. Errol Spence had like 3 pay-per-views where he didn't have no black fighters fighting on the undercard as far as the actual pay-per-view go. So what about that? And then on the flip side, Bud got 6 kids. He got 5 and 1 on the way by the same woman. And if you want, and she black. So you don't want it. So don't come here trying to play that black shit with me. So I'm just, bruh, you on the wrong, bruh, for real, you on the wrong channel, bruh. Don't play black shit with me, bruh. So you don't want to play the black, don't play that black card. Because Al Heyman ain't been doing right by some of his brothers. Look how he did Gary Russell Jr. Look how him and Floyd didn't treated Gary Russell Jr. by having Gary Russell Jr. fighting all these nobodies. I'm just so, bro. You can save that. You can save that black shit. So don't try that shit with me. Like I said, you can't even get Al to do interviews with black media. So you don't, bruh. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Man, we gotta I gotta tell the truth. If y'all niggas be hollering about how Bud always fighting bums, well, what the fuck Gary Russell Jr. been fighting? I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. If Joe Diaz your best fight, then you in deep trouble. And then they have Gary Russell Jr. always sitting on the shelf fighting like once a year. How come Gary Russell Jr. ain't never fought on a pay-per-view? He ain't never fought on Floyd's pay-per-views. He ain't never fought on Errol Spence's pay-per-views. And he been, so I'm, like I said, man, don't come trying that black shit with me. Not when it comes to Al Heyman. Because like I said, he done left a lot of brothers hanging. For real. So I'm just keeping it 100. Just like set up Terrell, just like Terrell Williams, he made Terrell Williams come down to 147 to fight Thomas DeLome in Bakersfield, or somebody made him because he foiled. See, what happened was he foiled the plan because Pritchard Cologne was a dude that they wanted to build up. As H Money would say, he was going to be the replacement Miguel Cotto. But Terrell Williams ruined that when he put that dude in a coma. And they was pissed off. I mean, Sergey Kovalov killed somebody. And his career went on. Terrell Williams didn't fight for almost 2 years after that happened. And then when he did come back, he had one fight at 154, I think. And then he was supposed to have another one. And then the dude pulled out of the fight and they made him come down to 147. And he hadn't fought at 147 in 5 or 6 fights. He had clearly outgrew 147. So I could be talking a lot of that black shit. Y'all don't play with me. Don't play with me. Yeah, see, y'all didn't know that, did you? Y'all didn't know that, did you? Like I said, why didn't Gary Russell Jr. get Leo Santa Cruz? Leo Santa Cruz, I'm gonna tell you right now, I respect Leo Santa Cruz. I like the guy, but him asking for a Tank rematch that's just not smart. What can you do in the second fight man, stop it. So that's all I'm saying. Stay off stop it with the Al Heyman is God shit, cause he not God. Al Heyman make mistakes too. Al Heyman did some good, but he did some bad neither. Like I said, this ain't about no this ain't the Bob Arum show. This ain't this ain't the Al Heyman show. I'm just keeping it 100. Gary Russell Jr. wanted Tank, couldn't get that fight, and that's what I'm saying. Floyd can make Tank versus Gary Russell Jr. There is nobody alive that can lie and tell me that they wouldn't want to see Tank versus Gary Russell Jr. on pay-per-view, the Battle of the DMV. That's a sellable fight. Like I said, the PBC, the problem that I have with them, they, for the most part, they really ain't about trying to make fights, big-time fights with blacks versus blacks. They keeping you know what I'm saying? They keeping the division. Okay, they made Errol Spence versus Sean Porter. But before that, it was Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia didn't have no belt whatsoever. And nobody wants to talk about that. Didn't have no belt. Why was that fight made? But you had Errol Spence saying that it's strap season. So what strap did Mikey Garcia have? Well, Mikey Garcia got a lot of actual straps. I know Mikey Garcia is an avid gun collector. That's about unless they was fighting for some of Mikey Garcia's guns. Unless that was in the contract, because they definitely wasn't fighting for a belt. So why did that fight get made if Errol Spence was fighting for a strap? Oh, yeah, I know Mikey Garcia got, and that's what I'm saying. Errol Spence ain't that damn pro-black. He don't want to do 50-50 with Bud, but he did 50-50 with Mikey Garcia. So once again, you can say that black shit. You can say that black shit with me. Especially when you don't know what you... Yeah, thanks, Pratt. And even Pratt is telling the truth. Errol Spence, he don't want to pay. He don't want to do 50-50 with the brothers, but though Mikey Garcia get 50-50. So once again, you can say that black shit. Yeah, we all know Floyd should be fighting KSI. If you want to, but like I told you, Floyd ain't gonna give no brothers no payday. He ain't gonna give no brothers no payday, cause that's how he get down. That's how Floyd get down. Like I say, Floyd would rather make rather make white supremacists rich than a brother. Conor McGregor made $100 million. No boxing experience whatsoever. Racist. Jake Paul finna make millions of dollars. Racist. My thoughts on Pac versus Spence. I think Pac-Man saw some stuff in Spence that certain other people haven't failed to realize. Spence got a problem with not moving his head. And that could cost him against Manny Pacquiao. And then he backs up instead of, without covering up, so Manny could switch angles on him. That's why Manny's starting to get confident. No, I'm just telling the truth. I'm gonna tell you right now. If that fight stay in the middle of the ring, Errol Spence is gonna have some serious problems with Manny Pacquiao. Spence is gonna have to use his brute strength. He gonna have to keep Manny. He gonna have to jab Manny just like he did. He gonna have to jab Manny just like he did Garcia, and he gonna have to attack the body. Because if it turns into a boxing match where he trying to fight Manny in the middle of the ring, that's going to be bad news for Errol Spence. Errol Spence don't move his head at all. He don't move his head at all. Now, one thing Errol Spence is good at doing, we all can agree with that. Errol Spence doesn't waste punches. He has great punch placement. Errol Spence is not lightning quick. I mean, he don't have blistering hand speed. He just places his punches very well. Like he sees where he wants to like throw this punch, throw that punch. But he don't have blistering hand speed. Bud has blistering hand speed. Manny Pacquiao has blistering hand speed. And Errol Spence, if he fight Manny Pacquiao, he is going to have to get off first. He going to have to get off first. Because if he try to call himself trying to time Manny Pacquiao and trying to counterpunch him, he's going to have to be the aggressor. Now, the problem is with Manny Pacquiao don't fight good going backwards. And he don't know how to turn people. He don't fight good fight good coming off the ropes. So that's where Errol Spence gonna have an advantage. In the middle of the ring, that's where Manny gonna have an advantage with the angles. Like I said, Errol is gonna have to get off first. Because if he sit up there trying to wait and see what Manny is gonna do, that's gonna play into Manny's hands. Like I said, shit is gone. Shit is finna be interesting. Shit is finna get interesting. Cause usually when somebody say, okay, I I think I'm ready. I think Manny saw something. I think he saw. Look, Errol Spence is good at walking you down, but Errol Spence, he don't got like, he's a pacer. He ain't a dude that's light on his feet. He don't, you know what I'm saying? He don't move like Bud do. See, Bud can move around. See, Errol Spence is a stalker, pacer. He come towards you, and he start. You know what I'm saying? He come towards you. I'm taking Bud all day. Like I say, styles make fights. What's up, CB? Styles make fights. And see, one thing about Bud, he can switch from that southpaw to orthodox. To me, Bud fight better as a southpaw than he do orthodox. As you can see, Manny Pacquiao would rather take his chances with Errol Spence than he would Bud. I'm just keeping it 100. Like I say, styles make fights. Bud's style is going to be difficult for Manny Pacquiao, where Errol Spence may not. Because it's going to be opportunity to hit Errol Spence. Because see, the thing is with Bud can get out the way. So you got to remember that. I think we need to stop with this Bud's chin shit. Okay, he got dropped by the Mean Machine. He got up and he knocked the Mean Machine out. I think this Bud's chin shit is something. I think it's a myth. Because if that's the case, Bud's chin ain't no more. Bud's chin is a myth, just like Errol Spence's power. I don't think Errol Spence's power is what people make it out to be. Because this is the third fight in a row Errol Spence had, and he ain't able to get a stoppage. Why couldn't he stop? He couldn't stop Danny Garcia. He couldn't stop Mikey Garcia. He couldn't stop Sean Porter. So this thing about Bud's chin, I think that's just blown out of proportion. Everybody get dropped. For the most part, Andre Ward got dropped. I mean, Pacquiao didn't got dropped. So I'm just keeping it 100. I'm not hating on Errol Spence, but I'm just telling the truth. I think his power is a little bit overrated. He didn't even drop Mikey Garcia. He dropped Sean Porter, okay. But it wasn't like a punch where Sean Porter was like seriously hurt. He hit Sean Porter, his glove touched the floor. He didn't put Sean Porter on his ass. But what about all the time Sean Porter hurt Spence in that fight? See, nobody don't want to talk about that. I'm just keeping it 100. You got to ask that question now. All this shit about okay, he busted Danny Garcia up, but he didn't drop him. He didn't drop Mikey Garcia. So I'm just saying he didn't stop Sean Porter. But let's keep it 100. Sean Porter got put on his ass by Adrian Broner. I mean, he got put on his ass. That's what I'm saying. Now, dude, you got to stop being emotional. Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. Bud would have stopped Danny Garcia and Mikey Garcia. I'm just keeping it 100. Bud would have stopped. Bud would have stopped. He would have stopped Danny Garcia, and he would have stopped Mikey Garcia. He would have made both of them quit. Angel would have threw in the towel. Because one thing about Bud, this is a plus and a minus. When he get hurt, he want his lick back. So then he turned it up. So this is all I'm saying about Errol Spence. I'm not talking down. And I think some people that's gonna listen to this, they're gonna get over emotional and all that shit. But I'm just saying. Mikey Garcia he's got dropped in lower weight classes. So all this stuff about Errol Spence, I just wanted to give him a boxing lesson and all that kind of stuff. Okay, cool. So you gave Danny Garcia a boxing lesson. And Errol was trying to stop Danny Garcia. He was trying to stop Sean Porter. So you just wanted to give the way smaller dude a boxing lesson. This is the stuff that come out of this is the stuff that come out of Errol Spence's mouth. Devin Haney is like 22 years old, bruh. He ain't even grown into his man body yet. Errol Spence is 30. It's like 31. Errol Spence is 30. This may, you know what I'm saying? It may be it may be what it is. That's all I'm saying. It may be what it is right now. Mr. Stacks, we got to be careful with that. You got to kind of watch your words about his power may not be the same and he may need to get back with Miss. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful with that because people will take this and run with it. No, we ain't talking about how many times Errol Spence got dropped. We talking about why can't he drop anybody? He hasn't had a knockout in his last 3 fights. They was the ones that was saying this man was a killer and he could knock everybody out. So I'm just saying. Well, he fought Sean Porter and Mikey Garcia in the same year in 2019. So why couldn't he knock them out before the car accident? What do the car accident got to do with your hands? You know what I'm saying? What do the car accident got to do with your hands? Your fist? That's all I'm saying. That car accident ain't got nothing to do with your fist. So what happened before that? Okay, he knocked out Ocampo and then he knocked out Lamont Peterson, who got the hell beat out of him by Tim Bradley, got dropped multiple times. And then he got knocked out by Lucas Matisse, who Manny Pacquiao knocked out. who retired. Manny Pacquiao retired Matisse. And keep in mind, Matisse got dropped by Danny Garcia, and he had been. So I'm just, I'm just putting it all together. No, hold on, Phantom. Since you trying to challenge me, why didn't Errol Spence stop him? Why didn't he stop? Why didn't he stop Mikey Garcia, a little dude? Why didn't he stop? Why didn't he stop Sean Porter? He was the one that said he was gonna stop them all. Y'all was the ones that said y'all the one that said Errol Spence is this devastating puncher. Boy, don't challenge me. I'm ready. Stop making excuses. Nice try. Nice try. Nice try. Nice try. Because if basically, if your only negotiating power you have over Bud is because you fighting on pay-per-view, and he not. But if he fight your common opponents and he stop them, then that's not going to be enough for you to say you should get more a bigger piece of the pot. At the end of the day, the fight should be 50-50. It should be 50-50, and we all know it ain't no use doing that 45-45, and that's not going to happen. And then the winner, that's never been did in the fight ever, and it's not going to start now. These fighters got too much pride to do that. These fighters got and like I keep saying, y'all want to play the nobody card when it comes to Bud, but like I said, Bud then stopped everybody at 147. Everybody. Every fucking body. Everybody he stopped. And I keep saying if Bud has fought nothing but bums, then like I keep saying, why did Danny Garcia run from that fight? Why won't Mikey Garcia fight him? That's what I'm waiting on. If he's like I keep saying, if Bud has fought nothing but bums, then why won't nobody send him a contract? Why they worried about what's going on with him and Bob Arum? Oh, you need to worry about. Oh, you need to fix your problem with Bob Arum. Bob Arum ain't got shit to do with you sending him a contract. Bob Arum ain't got nothing to do with you sending him a contract. That's him and Bob. That's him and Bob Arum's issue. But if y'all on the other side of the street and y'all send him a contract, then you trying to make the fight. That don't have nothing to do with y'all. For real. That ain't got nothing to do with, I ain't gonna send him a contract because him and Bob Arum at odds. That ain't got nothing to do with the PBC. That ain't got nothing to do with Al Heyman. That don't make no sense. That sound like an excuse. Oh man, I guess you didn't get the memo about me. Let me get rid of. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Aaron ain't getting in the ring. The hell that got to do with the PBC? And I gotta keep it 100. Hey, Kenny is my dude. Kenny is my dude. And Kenny be listening to my videos, but let's keep it 100. Okay, Sean wasn't even trying to see Bud or Errol Spence when Sean had that belt. When Sean had a belt, Bud wasn't even in the equation. But now that Sean is beltless, okay, yeah. Now okay, cool. Cool. And he is technically the mandatory for Bud. Now, here's the thing. Danny Garcia was the mandatory last year for the WBO. And he chose to fight Adrian Granados. He chose to fight Adrian Granados, man. Don't get mad at me. I'm just telling you the truth. He chose to fight Granados. He took $1 million. He took $1.5 million less to fight Adrian Granados when he was guaranteed $3 million. And if he would have opened his mouth, he probably would have got what Amir Khan got. Or close to it. That's on him. I'm just saying, y'all, don't get me. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I'm just hitting y'all with truth. And we ain't talking about Errol Spence. I'm just hitting y'all with truth. That's all I'm saying. Man, look. Okay, let's just talk about this right now. Since let's be honest, because I respect y'all. Like I said, I respect y'all opinion, but let's be honest for real. Can we be honest about Danny Garcia? Can the real boxing fans please stand up and not the nut huggers? Let's be honest. Who has Danny Garcia beat that was relevant at 147 since he moved up to 147? Because if you want to play the damaged goods game, then Robert Garcia was already tore up from the flow up from Floyd, a couple of other fights, and the Keith Thurman fight. Who has he really beat? Who has he beat of any significance at 147? Because he didn't lost all three, as Baby would say, of his biggest fights. He lost to Keith Thurman. He's now lost to Errol Spence. He's now lost to Sean Porter. And those supposed to be what you would call the big guns. He's lost to all three of them. Danny Garcia is slow as molasses. He has short arms. And once again, he don't have the best footwork in the world. So let's be honest. While people making it look like Danny Garcia was a world beater, okay, he did some damage. He did some damage at 140. He had that spectacular knockout against Amir Khan. He had, but you know what I'm saying? He had that spectacular knockout against Amir Khan, but we all know Amir Khan got a Kit Kat candy bar jaw. But let's be honest. Most people thought he lost to Herrera. Most people thought he lost to Lamont Peterson. Then he had a life and death fight with that other dude. So we can make the argument that Danny Garcia was kind of fraudulent and that he was a bit of a hype job, but he had a name. And he did have that impressive win versus Lucas Matisse. Okay, so like I said, once again, Danny Garcia did his best work at 140. What significant win he didn't have at 147? Well, Paulie Malignaggi? It yeah, and I don't want people to think that this is, and I don't want people to think this is an attack on Errol Spence or nobody like that. But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, if we trying to pull that shit with other fighters to say, because Danny Garcia really ain't that damn good. So I'm just saying, he already had. It's not like he was undefeated. He already had. Technically, Danny Garcia should have about 5 losses, maybe 6. But they trying to make it look like this dude is some world beater, and he not. We all know Danny Garcia did his best work at 140. Is anybody listening to this? Is anybody listening to this stream for real can tell me right now off the top of their head, is Danny Garcia a first ballot Hall of Famer in boxing? You probably would say no. But when you dissect his record, but I'm just saying, when you dissect what he's done at 147, he's done mediocre work at 147. Because he's fought what you would call the big guns, the 3 big guns. The 3 big guns right now on the PBC side happen to be Errol Spence, Sean Porter, and Keith Thurman. If that's, I mean, if you want to go in that order, you might could throw Jamal James in there. You might could throw Ugas. But here's the thing. You look at Sean Porter. Once again, Sean Porter has losses. You can make an argument that Sean lost to Ugas. So I'm just saying. Until Manny Pacquiao got a hold of Keith Thurman was considered the best guy. And then Keith Thurman has been injury prone for the last, Keith Thurman has not been the same fighter the last, you know what I'm saying, the last, 3 years? And Keith Thurman still, after a long layoff, took Manny Pacquiao into deep waters. And to me, I stand by this. I thought Keith Thurman did enough to beat Manny Pacquiao. But at the end of the day, Manny Pacquiao is the name. But if you watch that fight closely, Keith Thurman had a horrible first round, but he started to close the distance. He started to land big shots, and he was hurting Manny Pacquiao in that fight. Now, with the exception of that round that Keith Thurman almost got stopped by Manny Pacquiao with that body shot. If you watch that fight without the biased broadcasting, you can make an argument that Keith Thurman won that fight. Keep in mind, Manny Pacquiao won a split decision versus Keith Thurman. Not unanimous decision, split decision. And Manny Pacquiao said it himself, he ain't fighting Keith Thurman again because he took too much punishment in that fight. I'm just telling the truth. I watched the fight with the sound off. I watched the fight, and this is no knock on Manny Pacquiao. If you think Manny Pacquiao pulled it off, fine. But let's not pretend that let's not lie and say that Manny Pacquiao blew out Keith Thurman, because that's a fucking lie. Keith Thurman outlanded Manny Pacquiao. He outlanded him, if I'm not mistaken. He outlanded Manny Pacquiao in all his the categories. I think Keith Thurman landed more power shots than Manny Pacquiao. He outlanded Manny Pacquiao. Well, see, here's the thing about Shakur Stevenson. We already know where Bud is at age 33, but Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney, we don't know who those guys are right now. Look what happened to Daniel Dubois. He wasn't ready for Joe Joyce, and he may not be the same because he got rushed into that fight. I said that. I brought that up. With the except, like I said, but Keith Thurman, with the except for those two bad moments, he did enough to me to get that fight. Like I said, we don't know where Shakur Stevenson is or Devin Haney. They up and coming fighters. I think Devin Haney is a little more ahead than Shakur Stevenson. No, we know. No, Joe the Juggernaut, hey, he can hit. He can hit. Once again, he ain't and that's the thing. This is what I'm talking about. Some fighters don't be ready for certain type of fights. Dubois clearly wasn't ready for that fight. He quit. He quit. And he may not be the same ever again. Sometimes when you rush a guy into a fight like that, Dubois may never recover from that. I'm worried about that dude. I'm serious. I'm worried about Dubois. When I seen how he just, that last jab to the eye, he said, I don't want no more of this. He quit. And then some people say, well, is it better to quit? Or is it better to get knocked out? Or is it better to throw in the towel? Or have your people throwing in the towel? Well, it depends on what's going on at that moment. But Dubois, like I said before, when I say I'm worried about that dude, yeah, I'm gonna be checking for the kid. Look, let me talk about this Devin Haney thing because I'm cool with Bill, I'm cool with Devin, and look, no bias coming from because they from the Bay Area. At the end of the day, like I said, I understand you ain't gonna knock everybody out, but Devin Haney has never been promoted as a knockout artist where Errol Spence was. But at the end of the day, he put on a boxing clinic. He tried to knock Gamboa out. And Gamboa, for most of the fight, was in survival mode. Gamboa knew that if he got knocked out, that was it for him. So Devin did what he was supposed to do. Gamboa was clinching. He was like backing up. He was in survivor mode. He knew himself. He's like, I can't get knocked out in this fight. So now he lives on. He gets another fight. He gets another payday. He gets knocked out by Devin Haney. That's it for him. Nobody is who's marketing Devin Haney as a knockout artist. He said he's a boxer. But Devin Haney gonna get some knockouts. He can outbox your ass. We all know that. Gamboa, to me, I don't even think he won one round versus Devin Haney. He won a couple of rounds versus Tank. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying about the kid. We ain't built Devin Haney as no knockout artist. Errol Spence was the one that they was building as the knockout artist, the killer, and all that stuff. So that's why when he don't get these knockouts, that's why we looking at him like, okay, they was marketing him. Floyd was never marketed as a killer, a knockout artist. So, like I said, that the same thing goes for Haney. Haney is a boxer. He's a boxer. He ain't a light puncher, but he's a boxer. Yeah, Andre Ward wasn't no boxer. I mean, excuse me, wasn't no killer. He wasn't no he didn't have devastating punching power. He had just enough power to keep you off of him. He had enough power to get rid of Sergey Kovalov. Yeah, Devin Haney's mission is that's what he do. He put on a show. He fights good enough to entertain the crowd. He throws punches, lets his hands go. But like I said, we never when did we market Devin Haney as a knockout artist? So you got to understand that certain people get marketed as killers. Errol Spence got marketed as a killer. Not you know, not literally, but you know what I'm saying. Don't you remember that? I give you an example. Don't you remember that fighter Juan Diaz? Dude had super quick hands, but that motherfucker did have no punching power whatsoever. I'll follow it. I'll follow it when I can. Well, at the end of the day, they're going to have to start, like I said, hopefully we can get these fights made. I mean, Bill is supposed to be cool with Floyd, but we already know Tank ain't gonna fight no brother. We all know they gonna find some non-black or some or some Mexican for Tank to fight. You know what I'm saying? Cause we know Floyd don't like I said, we know Floyd don't like giving brothers paydays though. So, but anyway, my phone dying, so I gotta wrap this up, man. But thanks for tapping in.